Welcome to our June first Tuesday of the month call. This is June the 3rd. I'm your MC and host, Judy Friesen, and thank you for joining us, the LifeWave Success Live Younger team. And we've got quite a jam-packed call tonight, and we want to get started right away. So we're going to pass it over to Lana because she's got a special announcement to make, and she's got a few other thoughts that she wants to share with the whole team. So Lana, if you can keep it real brief, we would be so appreciative since we're way behind time. Lana, over to you. Just unmute.
All right. I'll put my video on so you guys can see me. It's lovely to join everybody again this Tuesday, first of the month of June. And actually, I just want to really keep it brief, but really exciting because we had a new director break the ranks this past month. And I would just like to shout out a big hearty congratulations to Kirk and Karen Halwas. And they are here in near Regina, White City, Saskatchewan. And they have worked so hard with such enthusiasm that we are just so delighted for them hitting rank. They're incredible leaders. They are really working hard with their team to grow more managers and more directors. And we have some really exciting news coming on this call for everybody who is working with our team and the greater team of LifeWave, because there's some amazing things that await, and we're going to hear about them later tonight. So that's what I wanted to share to begin. And if there's time later for the other things, we will do them. But I think we want to jump right into the meat and potatoes of our call.
Let's let everybody congratulate Karen. You can go into the react button and send out a big well done to Karen. But
and Kirk.
We are very proud of Karen and Kirk. We are very proud of you for what you've accomplished. It's not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of work. And so Karen, do you just want to say just a 1 minute kind of response? We are all a family here, and we are very proud of you.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you, Lana, for the kind words. Kirk and I have been working pretty hard here to get our business going. And I see a few of my downline on here tonight. So that is great. And yeah, it is a great community, a great family. And we're just looking forward to getting to the next level.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and welcome again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm going to go back to Pete. Pete, you wanted to make just maybe a couple of general announcements of different things going on. Of course, we want to highlight what's going to be happening this Saturday, Super Saturday. I do want to remind everybody that don't panic if you just can't make it and put it into your schedule, or you can only go to an hour or two. I think it's a very long amount of hours that they're expecting us to be on. Don't worry, it's going to be recorded and you'll be able to catch up. And in the meantime, you can definitely read the new comp plan 2.0 that just came out in your inboxes this afternoon. I don't know, there's a couple testimonies as well that are in the wings. I think somebody has a testimony that they came prepared today. Why don't we handle that, and then we'll jump into talking about this new comp plan or enhanced comp plan 2.0. Pete has asked me to give a couple thoughts or highlights that I've seen, and Carl has some of that as well. You'll probably have some questions about that. Some of you, it's not where you're at, and that's okay. It's not bad for you to listen in, even if the comp plan is not your thing. But a lot of us are business builders on this call, and we want to understand this new enhanced comp plan coming. So in the meantime, does somebody have a really quick testimonial? Who is prepared for that? Something that you experienced, either you or one of your brand partners. Susan, you're up.
Hi. So I ran into a friend of Pete's 4 years ago in the park and was telling him about the tingling and numbness in my hands and the pain because I was supposed to have surgery, and I'd been praying for an answer to show up. And the the next day he called me and said, hey, I have something you might be interested in. So he told me about the patches. I said, sign me up. I want all the patches. I patched for 3 months, symptoms gone,
Wow.
no surgery. The other day, I went and put a dress on and I looked behind and I went, I had some very large veins at the back of my legs. They are almost all gone.
Unreal. 3 months.
Yep.
Wow.
But I patched the heck out of me because I didn't really know what I was doing, but it worked. Also healed my knee and something in my mouth on my cheek that they didn't know what it was and they wanted to do stuff and whatever. I just patched and it's also healed. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that. It's always inspiring when you hear these kind of stories.
so my
Sharing that. You can go back and mute yourself now, Susan. Thank you so
Okay.
much. All right. Anyone else that came prepared to share? And the idea is keep it like Susan did, short and brief, what your problem was before in symptoms and what has changed as a result of using the LifeWave product. Sandy, go ahead. Thank you. Just unmute yourself, Sandy, and give us the before and the after.
Sorry, I was just gonna change it to my video and I wasn't prepared for that. Sorry.
You don't have to. If you don't want to put your video on, you can just speak. That's okay.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
there you are. Oh, you look great. No problem.
Hi. So newly sponsored under Karen and Kirk. So I've known Karen for 27 years, so it's been a long time. So the thing I will share is I've been patching for a month, and there's been several things that have changed for me in that month, but I'll share probably the biggest for me is for the last 10, 15 years, I've had extreme pain in my face and into many, many specialists and tried many, many things. And basically, I would say in the first 2 weeks, the pain was subsided to the point where it just felt like a numbing feeling, no longer an actual pain. So that was amazing for me because I don't know if anybody experiences pain in their face, but it was all through my forehead and through my cheeks, and it was not good. So anyway, that is probably my number one testimony to share at this point, and actually have several more as time goes on. So thank you.
Wonderful, Sandy. That's so good. And that was only, what, has it been about a month that you've been on the patches?
Well, I've been on the patches for a month, but got the face pain under control in the first 2 weeks.
Wow.
So that was the amazing part. So I started with the first week with the X39 and then added the Eon the second week. And by the end of the second week, the pain had subsided, and just slowly as the month has gone on, it's just improved. So yeah, it's been pretty amazing. And inflammation was most likely the cause.
Yes.
Or possible there could have been possible other things as well, cortisol, too high of cortisol level, stuff like that. So anyway, that's a pretty amazing testimony for me to be able to share.
So great. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is that's always inspiring to hear. All right, well, we are going to transition, and you can mute yourself again, please. We're going to transition now over to talking about the big news, which is this Saturday, the 7th. I hope you are all registered, those of you who know that you can attend, to listen to the Super Saturday talk, and it's going to be all about the comp plan, the enhanced comp plan 2.0. And as I said, don't worry if you can't make it or you can't stay for the whole thing, it will be recorded. And I don't know how they're going to send out the recording and when they're going to send out the recording, but I know that they will. In the meantime, you've got the paperwork, the booklet. It's a 19-page comp plan booklet that just came out this afternoon. I've printed it all off. I'm working through it and trying to make sense of it. I can't make sense of much of it because I think I need the explanation like most of us do. So this call is not meant to get into the weeds or to get too deep, because we just don't have the information ourselves, but we're happy to talk about it a little bit and help you to all understand that even though change is sometimes difficult, it's necessary. And the idea is you're going to be more in control, and you're probably going to make more money, and your people will make more money sooner. And so those are some good things to look forward to. So Pete, if you would like to jump in and say any preliminary things, then we can move over to Carl, who will take us through some of the thoughts that he has. He's got some really great thoughts as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Judy. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who took the time here to be on the call. I just appreciate each and every one of you. And Karen, I heard you loud and clear. And of course, Susan as well. So proud of you for just saying yes, jumping on the call and doing a testimony. And Lana, of course, it's always a pleasure to hear you as well. And just great to have you here. We're in the time of some amazing transition of excitement and energy. And we're going to flip it over to Carl Krebs. He's really excited about the enhancements coming to the comp plan and LifeWave 2.0. And we're going to learn all about it on Saturday, as Judy already mentioned. So we're in for a great learning curve coming up. And we all love to learn new things and make more money in the process, right? And the new changes, enhancements are going to be very positive. So I'm super excited about it. And I know Carl sure is. We had a conversation. So without further delay, let's call on Mr. Carl Krebs. I'd love to hear his energy. I always love his energy. So let's have him share a little about LifeWave Comp Plan 2.0 and any other energy he may have. Carl?
Well, good evening to everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear, Carl.
Good. All right. Well, I'm side of the road here, just outside of Saskatoon. So, but I think it's important, and I want to acknowledge everybody that's on the call, and say to you, thank you for showing up. We're all in this business for different reasons. Some of us have personal health challenges or health challenges of loved ones, and that's certainly a reason to introduce people to the patches. And some of us are not only in that area, but also in the area of looking for a business, you know, and some of us have stumbled into a business. And with what is going to be unveiled on Saturday in Dallas, we're going to see a significant shift in the company in how they are going to pay us for our efforts. And a lot has been held under wrappers, but today, like myself, most of you got the manual, and they did release it in time, as they said they would. But compensation 2.0, there's a couple things I want to highlight, and that it is compensation plan sustainability. They want to see that this compensation plan is built for the future. You know, David's such a forward-thinking individual. They're also after increased retention. Most of us have gone through the frustration of having people come and go and almost at the same level. And I think this plan is going to increase the retention, and I'll get to that in a minute. But it's also going to reward balanced business building activities. And you know, some of us, as I said, we're just in it for the product use, and we're not really dialed in to do the business. But if you're like me, this is the end game that I want to go to. And I've had conversations with some of you to know that a lot of you are thinking the same way. And I especially want to mention Kirk and Karen, who are really intentional about doing this business under Lana's guardianship, and Pete and Judy. And most of us are looking at saying, you know what, this could be something I really want to do. So I want to focus here. As you've known for a while, there are 4 ways that the company pays out, 5 on quarterly bonuses that a lot of us don't get to. But there's retail sales. There's a product introductory bonus. There is a cycle bonus once you get into the 330, 660 cycle. And then there is matching bonuses that are paid to the 3rd level. All of that, almost all of that is going to change. So here's the things that are not going to change. I'll start with retail. Not going to change. A lot of us don't do retail, so we're not worried about it. But you'll still make your income off anything you sell retail. What's new is customer premiums are going to come into play, and now there are apparently 9 different ways that we are going to be paid. And the existing product introductory bonus, that stays the same. And you saw the shift already when they went to core, advanced, and premium, and the PIB was lowered on all of them. And I think that is to already prepare the way for what they're going to do now. and level earnings bonus. This is going to be where people are going to be able to um, learn or be paid sooner. And here's the big change: the binary cycle bonus. Those 330, 660 combinations are going to go away. It's all going to be paid on percentage. How is that going to be paid out? Can't answer that now. You'll find that out on Saturday. If you're at all looking at the business and really looking at the business like some of us are, you're going to want to be dialed in, because as you bring business builders in, they're going to want to know, well, how do I earn? How does the company pay? It's really important that we understand that to be able to speak to the business builders that we're bringing in. The sixth thing that's changing is mentor matching. This is interesting because Gregory commented about it, that they often train well below the levels at which they're paid. But as he said, we do it out of love, concern. We want to see you succeed. But that's going to be extended now into the sixth level. And if I'm making a mistake, and some of you, I know Judy's read ahead, you can feel free to correct me, because we're all learning this, and it's much like counting fence posts at 100 miles an hour. It's hard to do. And so that's changing. The new thing, business launch, is something in people who launch a new business. There's going to be special incentives to help them to get some, traction and start earning some money. And breakthrough incentives, another new element of what's happening here. And then the quarterly leadership pays out at the level where you are at. But what's really important, you can see the shift from the company paying by rank and paying by volume. This is a huge shift. And I love what Connie Lucas said on the director's call. You know what? Nothing's changing about what you're doing, but people are going to be recognized earlier. And I know some of you, like myself, have said, man, our SPDs, they earn a lot of money. And they do. And they've earned it, and they've built their business, and all kudos goes to them for doing that. But I think what the company wants to see now is early success, which is going to definitely help our retention. People, you sell a core and you earn a quick PIB there. Maybe it's $35. Okay, but it's a long gap between that and when you get into cycle bonuses, where you're generating the volume to warrant your 660, 330, the 1/3, 2/3 splits. And then when you get one of those, well, you get $50. But there's a huge gap. And I think they're pushing the money from the top further down into the lower echelons of the company. That to me is commendable. I don't really think the company is, and this is a personal opinion, is actually paying out more money. I think they're reallocating it. And that's really good, because they're paying out significantly. And I think at the rate at which LifeWave pays out, we're not going to go beyond those percentages. It's over 50% already. So I think what you need to do, if you're a business builder and the people you have are business builders, make sure they're on the Saturday call, because you need to show up for your own success. Learn by what the company's offering. The recording will be there, and study it, so that we can have meaningful meetings afterward, which, at the leader level here, we've been discussing. How soon after the Super Saturday should we have a session where we get into it? And I think we're going to have to get into it fairly soon. But those of us that are builders and going to be building and attracting builders are going to need to understand this, because people eventually want to know, how do I get paid? And I like what Connie said. The change is so significant, you'll actually be able to plan out someone's success based on their number. If they want to earn $500 a month, you'll be able to map that out, which previously you couldn't do. Except, well, go ahead and sell 5 advanced packages and you're close. But this plan is really going to shift as they go, is significant as they shift from volume, or from rank payment to volume. And I know some of you, I know myself, I've been sitting at the correct GVU, but I don't have the directors below me to move me up to senior. One more thing, and we're running short on time here. I want to make this brief. And this is, I'm going to flip on my notes here to say that what's really important here is the levels that are being introduced here, because the company has introduced a whole bunch of new levels. Managers will no longer just be a manager. You're going to be a 1-star, a 2-star, or a 3-star manager. Directors the same way. 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, and that goes all the way up executive to presidential. This is huge because you'll be paid at that level that your volume dictates. And no longer will you say, well, I just missed another cycle. I missed it by 20 points on the 330 leg. No, you'll be paid by volume. So lots of significant changes there. Have a radar for what I've shared here and write your questions down even before the meeting, but certainly afterward. And let's get into it with some training, because I think it's one of the most significant things that LifeWave has done in a long time is to change a compensation plan. And we may be looking at a compensation plan that is unlike any other in the industry. It is so like LifeWave to be unique and different, from our products to our management to everything. I suspect we're going to have a comp plan here that's going to rival every other company out there and be the best in the industry. That's just the way David operates. So be on it on Saturday and bring your people. And if you can't, because you can't, watch for the recording to come out later. So that's all I'm going to share. And Judy, I think you might want to make a few more comments because you've been reading up ahead.
Great, Carl. Thanks for sharing that and your enthusiasm. And I think you're right. That I really do believe that this is going to excite new people who want to get started, and they don't want to wait for months and months before they get their first paycheck. They're going to get some kind of remuneration a lot sooner. And I love the fact that they still are using the ranks to determine a certain amount of what they pay, but that they will be also paying on the volume. And so it's going to be a both and. And once that comes out, sometime in July or August, I believe Meredith, who's the president of LifeWave, in her little quick voice clip that she left with the email that came out this afternoon, she couldn't give us the exact date that we're going to go live, quote unquote, or get started with this new enhanced plan, but she wants us to spend at least all of June and maybe part of July in digesting, in thinking, in talking to your upline, talking to your sponsor, so that you can get a better feel for where you're going to land once this goes live. You might currently right now be a manager, but based on the parameters that they've given us, you might all of a sudden be bumped up to the first star director. Who knows? It just depends on your volume and how many people you have and what's going on. But I do want to encourage you that you don't have to bite the whole elephant in one bite. You don't have to eat that whole elephant in one bite, is what I was going to say. This is very complex. Don't get discouraged if it doesn't make sense. Just keep on chewing a little bit here and there, asking the good questions. Those of us who are directors and above on this call are going to spend as much time as we can over the next 4 or 5 weeks to literally learn what we can so that we can help the rest of you. But we have to digest it just like you, and we're going to try to do it quickly. But I think Carl made a big point, which is that instead of the 4, 5, 6 ways we had before, we actually have now 8 ways to earn in different ways. So that's kind of an exciting thing. And I love the fact that the jump from manager to director was such a big jump. It was so huge. It was discouraging. Now that they've made manager in 3 and director in 3, I think it's going to be a lot easier to move along because it's not such a big, huge leap. And that is going to keep people from being discouraged if they're looking at this as a business. Well, I've said enough for right now, Pete. I'm sure you're wanting to jump in here and maybe say a few more things based on what you know about this upcoming new enhanced plan.
Thank you so much, Judy. And Carl, thank you for your energy and sharing it. You're near the end of the meeting. Everything seems to be smooth with Zoom now. We got it all figured out. Wow. But yeah, it's the way life sometimes goes. You know, you have an agenda, you have a plan, and sometimes things don't always go to plan. And that's where you always need a plan B. And I loved what Susan Smith said earlier. Like, I mean, in her brief testimony, she's got a lot of energy. She has a plan B, you know, to get out of maybe doing what she's been doing for many years, cleaning house. And maybe you're stuck in that mode of cleaning house in some way, or just in the rhythm that you've been in for a long time. And sometimes adversity and change stares us right in the eye. And sometimes we can look at that and perceive it as maybe a negative up front and not really grasp the opportunity that lies right within the palm of our hands. And Carl said it well, I mean, we've got something so dynamic here, and David Schmidt is no stranger when it comes to creating things that are just off the charts, unstoppable, unbreakable, and unmatchable. And I think we may be embarking on a future together here that's going to be bigger than life itself, ladies and gentlemen, with the water coming out, the technology there, and so many other things that are in the works, and an enhanced comp plan that's going to reward the person that's brand new, the person that really hasn't gotten to that big six-figure monthly income, as so many people in LifeWave already have achieved. They've allocated some of those funds to go right down to the grassroots of where the business building activities are really truthfully happening with you, the brand new partner, the brand new customer getter, the one that's out there just starting to get their feet wet. So we're pretty excited about it. And this Saturday is going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. Hannah and I are excited. Next week, we go back to Canada. So we'll be back in Manitoba, and we look forward to meeting with many of you. Our next Tuesday success team meeting will be while we're in Canada. And I've also asked David Jumper to come on our next call. He hasn't confirmed yet, but there's a good likelihood we'll have David Jumper on the next call. So you can look forward to that, the #1 income earner in LifeWave. We'll love to hear from him. And through this mix up here with my Zoom not working, I completely forgot we had discussed with Corolla a very brief little story that she was going to share. I know we're gone over time here, and that's okay. So, but I want to just say thank you to Corolla and Roger for all they do. They're just always there and always improvising and moving forward. And I know they're getting ready to go on a little road trip here. But Corolla, if you'd be so kind and unmute yourself and just say hello to the group here and just share a little bit from your heart. It's always nice to hear from you.
Hey, Pete, thank you. Appreciate it. So, yeah, I am so grateful for the patches. I wouldn't be where I'm at because right now with summer, I did some planting. So usually when I'm up, like bending over, sitting in a position, and the next day I'm usually having cramps on my calves, right? So, and then it dawned on me, I just could put X39, X49 each on one side, and boom, it just like that. The next day, like I really didn't feel the pain, the discomfort. It was gone. I was so amazed, and that just is one thing that people could think of. Just put the patch where it hurts the most. You don't need to overthink it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Corolla. We always just so appreciate everything you do, and hearing from you and your success stories and your little wins and victories with the patches and getting new prospects, getting new customers, and all that is so important. And that's another phase that we're going to be entering. And it was Judy that brought it to my attention earlier. The comp plan, as we advance, it's going to require us to get out there and share the preferred customer program a bit. So look forward to that this Saturday. Is going to be some very exciting enhancements. And those of you that are already sharing it with customers, good for you. You're already ahead of the game. But I'm looking forward to learning this Saturday. So come prepared to learn. It's going to be a great time. And Judy, that's all I have for today. It's been a bit of an off start to this meeting for me. So again, I apologize, but I'll let you take it away, Judy, and Carl, close it off, and we'll make sure this doesn't happen again next time. Wow.
Well,
Thank you so much, everyone.
These things happen, and it's absolutely a-okay. I just think that because we've been sharing so much and talking so much, there's probably a number of quick burning questions that people have. So I think if we can have a little bit of time, let's not end this call without giving people an opportunity to unmute and ask a quick question. Does anybody have anything that they would like to ask or clarify before we call it an evening?
Just another comment, Judy, about the preferred customer. Pete touched on it. Thank you. This is going to be, I think the shift in the comp plan is really a shift in the company staying more compliant in the MLM industry with the balance between brand partners and customers. And I think for some of you that, you have those practitioners and maybe their coaches, their massage therapists, whatever they are, they want to help their people, but they're not interested in doing the business. The enhancements to the volume pay and focusing on preferred customers is really going to allow those people to really flourish. And they're going to be able to go out and sell the product, move the product in the market, and then get paid for it and not have to do the business and until they're ready to. And so that was an interesting point that was stressed at the director call. Watch for that shift in Saturday. I think the company is really wanting to make a significant shift to customer base. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Carl. And you'll see that in this shift to preferred customers, it really doesn't impact us a ton until you become at the executive director level. As you are a manager or a regular director, it's good to get preferred customers, but it becomes a requirement to stay completely active. Once you hit the executive director position, then part of your personal volume is required to have at least 90 points coming from preferred customers. So don't sweat it. Don't get worried. Let's take everything sort of step by step. Karen has a question or a comment. Go ahead, Karen.
Yeah, I do have a question. Just anybody that can chime in and help out here. I've got a brand partner who is maybe a little bit leery about the patches and is asking if there's any known negative long-term effects on the body from wearing the patches.
I can answer that really quickly, and the answer is absolutely 100,000,000% no. The company would, just to say to them, our company would never be allowed to distribute these patches for sale if Health Canada or FDA caught wind of anything that these patches would do negatively long-term. That is why we are regulated and governed by these health authorities. It's because it's protecting the consumer. So you can be absolutely assured, Karen, that this has been a company that's been over 20 years, and we would have been shut down a long time ago if there was anything negative or if they caught wind of anything. But we are governed, we are analyzed as much as any industry could ever be scrutinized. And we can safely say that the only negative thing that a person might feel is simply the natural detoxing that happens in the human body as the body tries to heal. But the patches do not cause any long-term negative, and we've had long-term clinical studies to prove that. Anyone else want to add to my response, or is that good enough?
No, that is great. I've also had basically that same conversation. I think he was looking for something on paper as far as like something to back. I'm not sure the clinical studies or if that.
You know what, Karen? I have learned a long time ago that if I try to feed people all the information, they'll just keep asking for more and more and more. Instead, make them become fishers rather than you feeding them the fish. So send them to the link of where the science studies all are, and they will have to do the hours of reading them through and trying to decipher them. And that exercise alone often wows people to say, wow, this company has really got their science in place. But send them to the LiveYoungerSuccess.com. And in there is a place, ask your upline to help you to find the place where all the science studies are posted. And then just send it to that customer and say, look, you just feel free to read through all of these studies, and you'll start to see that this company is being well governed by the medical police, so to speak, which is Health Canada in Canada or FDA in the United States. So
let me add one comment to that, Judy. And it was in 2 webinars ago, David was revealing more information on yet another X39 study. And he was asked, why do you keep producing more studies about X39? He says, I'm building an impenetrable wall around this company and our products so that someday someone would say, Well, prove it. Well, here's all the studies, and he's continuing to build that wall higher and higher, and that makes us. I'm not going to say it's a city of Troy experience where you can think you're impenetrable, but LifeWave certainly has stood the test, and the studies keep coming.
Absolutely. And Carl, I would also add that in my 40 plus years of being in the natural health world and being a health coach, I have come across many fantastic natural health companies. I have never seen one company come close to having so many published clinical studies to back up the efficacy and the safety of our product. I've never seen one. So I can be assured that we should have that kind of confidence when we're talking to our people. And if they're still nervous, they're still concerned, send them to look for themselves, let them do their own digging into all the clinical studies, and they will see, yeah, we might not have a 20-year clinical study to say that is safe after 20 years of using patches, but because we've got long-term clinical studies, the way the FDA and the Health Canada work it is that if you can prove that after a 6-month period or a year period, then the potential for harm or risk goes down so much that you don't even have to do a 20-year study, because after the 6 months or the year, you know that it's not going to do any damage if it hasn't done the damage in that first 6 months or a year, if that makes sense.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Karen, thanks for the good question. Royden is the another question here. Royden is not quite unmuted yet. Try again.
I try to unmute, Royden.
You're probably on a phone, are you? If you're on a phone, sometimes it's hard to click that little unmute button. Royden will come back to you, but just chime in whenever you can. And Karen, your hand's still up. I'm assuming that you just haven't taken your hand down, or do you have another question, Karen? All right.
I think she just forgot to drop
No,
it.
sorry, I just didn't, I didn't take my hand down.
Okay, just take your hand down. Okay, Royden, are you figuring it out yet? Because you're still muted. Okay, Royden, how about if you type it into the chat, and we'll see if you can ask your question through the chat. That's always a good option as well, people. If you have any trouble or you want to ask a question or you make a comment, I always have my chat box open on these kind of calls so that I can kind of do two things at once, watch everybody on my screen and see if anybody is typing anything. So we'll let Royden do that. We are pretty much though out of time. We're at the top of the hour. Well, you know, we got 8-9 minutes left. Some of you go to the top of the hour call, the LiveYounger success, no, the corporate call. That's coming up at the top of the hour. Anyway, anybody else other than we can't get to Royden? Anybody else?
Judy, I also want to just emphasize the WhatsApp Success LiveYounger community room that we have. And I personally love voice clips. And, you know, Royden, if you want to leave your question, if you don't want to type it out here, and if it's quite a long question, feel free to drop a voice clip in the WhatsApp chat room. There's always somebody.
He has it. The question is there going to be a change with 55 PV or 110 PV? And the answer is yes and no. The first level that you come into LifeWave is still 55 PV. That is still there. And then as you're in the manager and director levels, it's still 110 as it has been. The only change, so you're considered an active brand partner at 55, but I don't think that you can make any money. I'm not positive about that. But 110 is still there for the 3 levels of manager. 110 is still required for the 3 levels of director. But the big change in the new plan is that once you hit executive director, where Pete is right now, he and above, executive director and above, now you have to jump up from 110 personal volume to 200 personal volume. And that stays throughout the rest of the company. And 200 personal volume can't be just you ordering more stuff for more patches for yourself. It has to be that 90 points of the 200 has to be from a preferred customer or preferred customers to help you to get to the 200. So don't sweat it for right now. Your requirement is still no higher than the 110 until you hit executive director.
And Royden, just from experience, I'm just going to share from what Hannah and I have experienced when it comes to getting customers. You know, most of you know that I've been around for a while. I was never an advocate for getting customers. I was always more of the mindset, get brand partners and build an unstoppable team. Now with this added element coming here, it's going to be very interesting because first of all, we've had enough customer points over the last year already. I haven't had to place a personal order. You know how you have to place 110 points? I haven't placed a personal order of 110 points in over a year. Now, do I? Yes, absolutely, because I need product. But have I had to? No. Now, why is that? It's because I have customers, right? And the customers have given me enough carryover volume already for the past year. And I think last time Hannah and I looked, we had a rolling 6 months still that we don't even need to place an order. So that's a real nice feature that's built in the LifeWave compensation plan, as long as you're sharing it with customers. And let's face it, some people are just not cut out to be a brand partner. They don't want to share the business. They just want to be a customer. And sometimes we're better off leaving them in a customer position if they have no intention or desire to build the business. And that's the case with some of our customers. They don't want to build a business, so they just want the experience of having that product shipped to them every month and then getting the bonus patches that come as part of the customer program. So that's not a huge obstacle. It's not a huge barrier. And everything that LifeWave is doing is for the better of the community. So we can be guaranteed it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I just want to again thank everybody here. And I know we've gone a little over. And I also want to just highlight some people that are just really special here and maybe been silent tonight. Lynette Walker is in Carl's group, and she's just been incredible. And you know, does life go without challenges? No. Ask Lynette; she knows very well. But is she positive? Oh yeah, she's super positive, and she just plows through things. And just appreciate the way that she's always sharing in the room. And of course, we heard from Susan; she's amazing, going to be a rising leader here. Jacob Wolf, you know, I just want to recognize him as well. He's on the call tonight as well, also under Carl, and solid manager. And just appreciate everybody so much. And Anne Marie, a little story here. Wow. Got to talk about Anne Marie. She came back to LifeWave 4 years ago. She was the admin for Santos Panacci. And with the Syncretist Society, she left. She had so much other things on her plate and went to Hawaii and Minnesota. And I think now she's back in Texas. And she came full circle. And guess where she came? Right back to LifeWave. And she's excited about it and just sharing it again. And it just says a lot. It's a huge testimony to LifeWave and how amazing it is, where sometimes people go a different direction and they come full circle and come back. So I just want to congratulate them all. And some of you I don't know in the room, and just appreciate each and every one of you. So if anyone else has any last minute things they want to ask, share, I think we're off the record here completely. So feel free, guys, you know, if you have anything else on your mind. We have qualified people here that can certainly answer your question. And if not, I'll give it one more minute here and we'll end it. Did you want to unmute, Anne Marie? Do you want to just say a couple of words here? I'd love to hear your voice and just have you share what made you come back to LifeWave after all that time of being absent and away. If you're in a place where you can unmute, love to hear it.
Hi, everyone. Yes, thank you, Peter. I really appreciate your words. You know, it's just I reconnected with Santos. That's really what sparked LifeWay again, because just with everything going on, I'm sad to say I forgot about it. But it just came back very organically into my life, and I feel like how it came the first time around was so spontaneous as well, but this time around I was ready for it, and I'm very excited to be here again, and I'm just doing all I can to relearn the information. So, you know, I'm a bit I'm kind of happy that things are changing because I'm already in a process to relearning, so I'm just really ready to embrace it all, and I'm very inspired by the product, the company, by David and all of you. So I'm just very happy to be here and I look forward to this journey with you all. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Anne Marie. It's so nice to have you in our company again. And I'm sure Santos appreciates you in that role as well. You were always amazing and you will be phenomenal here. Mark my word.
Welcome back, Anne Marie. This is Carl. We had the pleasure of meeting in 2022 in Playa. We did a little bit of training together, if I got that right. So welcome back. Nice to have you with us.
Yes, thank you. I remember meeting you as well. It's good to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Anybody else? Any closing remarks? Any questions? Anybody else? If not, Judy?
All right, well, I think
Yeah.
that we're gonna say it's a wrap. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We will see you, mark your calendars for the first Tuesday of July. And don't forget, we're gonna have David Jumper as a special guest, so that will be July the 1st. And that's gonna
Not confirmed yet, Judy, though. I've asked him, but it's
Okay.
not 100% confirmed yet. He had to get back to me, so.
Understood. Now, just so you know, Pete, July the 1st is Canada Day. And so you as the leader, you have the right, if you want to keep it on July the 1st, that's fine. Sometimes the first day of the month, it's hard because people barely have turned their calendars over and then all of a sudden they're supposed to be on this call. So if you want to keep it on July 1st, Canada Day, we will mark it down. Otherwise, we could go to the 8th of July. That's your choice, Pete.
That might be wise, Judy. Let's talk about that in our leadership room the first Tuesday of the month. And let's take up a little vote of what you guys
Okay.
think. So, because most of us are Canadians, so a long weekend and most might be away. So let's talk about that and throw it out there once we know for sure.
We'll make sure that we announce it to everybody else here on the call about when our next call will be. And I hope that everybody has a great rest of the week, and we will be digesting all that we learn on this coming Super Saturday. So thanks again, everybody, for coming, and we'll get you out the recording as best as we can.